Hello and welcome to the Fostering Success Michigan webinar series, Getting to Know the FSM Higher Education Consortium. My name is Maddie Day and I'm the Director of Outreach and Training with the Center for Fostering Success at Western Michigan University. Before we get started, I would like to say a special thank you to our funders, the Kresge Foundation, the Havermill Foundation, and Western Michigan University for their generous support of the Fostering Success Michigan statewide initiative. I want to say a couple quick things about the FSM Higher Education Consortium. As you can see, we have 16 campus-based support programs, all designed specifically to support students with experience in foster care. In the Michigan model, each of these campus support programs includes a designated campus coach, providing 24/7 life skills coaching, mentorship opportunities, peer community building opportunities, connection to campus champions, and these are staff and faculty in key departments on campus such as financial aid, advising, admissions, and other really essential resources to a successful campus experience. Programs also include advocacy for students on campus and in the community. Our campuses engage in a variety of pre-college outreach and recruitment activities, and each of our programs have some element of financial resources, and there is an asterisk here because we highly encourage everybody to look into each program that they're considering and learn more about the financial resources that might be available through their program and through their campus. Today we'd like to welcome the Blavin Scholars Program from the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. Hi, Blavin.
Hi.
We have Miriam Connolly, Director of the Blavin Scholars Program, joining us today. Thanks for joining us, Miriam.
You're welcome. I'm happy to be here.
Wonderful. Well, we're very excited to learn more about the Blavin Scholars Program, the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, and all the wonderful resources and opportunities that await students who choose to go there.
Wonderful.
So the first thing that I want to talk about is the Blavin Scholars Program eligibility requirements. And so this is very specific to the Blavin Scholars Program. So we have some highlights here on the screen for students and supportive adults and professionals who are listening. Miriam, if you could speak to some of these and then also speak to how a student may identify that they're a Blavin Scholars or a potential Blavin Scholar applicant, and how you might work with potential students who are coming in to help them navigate through that application process.
Absolutely, Maddie. So the Blavin Scholarship and Program provides youth formerly in foster care with support while they work towards earning their bachelor's degree here at the University of Michigan. And as you noted, in our scholarship, it is a need-based scholarship that offers up to $5,000 per student per year. That funding can be used in a wide variety of ways. The University of Michigan has made a promise for students who have limited financial resources to assist with tuition costs. Where the Blavin Scholarship and Program may come in is offering the extras for students that as the student experiences their undergraduate year, they may have other costs associated with housing, for example, or with other emergent needs. So that is one of the ways that they may use their scholarship. The preference does go to students who are in foster care after the age of 13. However, we also look at the student along with, as the University of Michigan does, the holistic student. So if we have a student who is in need because they have a compromised support system, that is another facet that we will look at in determining fit for the program. We don't have an age limit. We've had students who have been or parents and have been in the field of work for many years and who come to us when they've come back from a break in their education. So we've had a wide range of students. You do have to be a Michigan resident and eligible for enrollment at the University of Michigan. So you must be a person who has been accepted at the University of Michigan and maintain full-time status. And again, we ask that for our students, as you mentioned, our students meet with a campus coach, and we meet regularly with that person to provide additional support. Other areas that I'm really excited about talking about for our scholarship program eligibility would just include that year-round housing. Year-round housing is a big component of our program, and it's one that our students often access in terms of resources. So helping that student to have a place to go throughout the year during spring breaks or during holidays when additional students may or may not be on campus. And I think that's one of the a major component of our program, and we're excited to offer that level of support. So those are just some of the ways that students can receive services in terms of our scholarship. And how our students come to us, we're very fortunate to have partnered with the Department of Health and Human Services here in Washtenaw County, where we have a liaison and campus coaches placed within our program. Through that partnership, we can identify students who are sent to us from a list from the undergraduate admission program here at the university, and we can compare that list to determine eligibility and whether or not that student has experienced foster care. We then reach out to that student and share the ideas and the components of our program and how our program may be helpful to that student. We bring that student to campus and we talk to them about the ways that we hope that we can provide support. And once that student accepts our program and finds that that's a good fit for that program, or that student rather, then we'll bring that student into our program. There are other ways that students may come to us. There may be word of mouth, it may be from other students. It may be from some of our campus champions all across the University of Michigan campus who've met with the student in some other capacity, learned that that student may or may not have experienced foster care, and referred that student to us. And additionally, we do have question 53 on the FAFSA that asks whether that student has experienced out-of-home care or has been placed in foster care at some point. We use that data, and the undergraduate admissions office uses that data to compile that initial list that I just mentioned.
Wonderful. So, you know, one of the, I think, really unique aspects of the Blavin Scholars Program is, of course, not having this upper age limit for eligibility, particularly making the just support that you guys all have available just really accessible to a wider array of students. Makes a lot of sense. I think it makes the Blavin Scholars Program a very attractive program, and probably fits you know, a lot of the profile of students who have experienced foster care coming back, you know, maybe at a later point. You know, we know not every student comes directly out of high school and into college, so that's just a wonderful aspect of the eligibility of your program. It's also really helpful to hear how integrated the Blavin Scholars Program is with your campus and also your larger community. And so it sounds like you work very hard at making sure that the larger community is aware of the resource that the Blavin Scholars Program offers to prospective students, and that you guys work very intentionally with taking students and supporting students through that application and admissions process, which is something that, you know, for a lot of students, particularly at some of our larger institutions, can feel very overwhelming. And I think that's a really unique aspect that for our students and professionals and supportive adults that are listening, knowing that there's support all the way through the application process that students can access is, I think that's just a great benefit for students. So thank you so much for sharing that. And also, I think knowing that a student doesn't necessarily have to apply before they step foot on campus, that they may be referred while they're on campus, because maybe they didn't hear about the resource or didn't necessarily know that they would qualify. And so really the key role that those campus champions play in helping to identify prospective students is quite essential.
Yes, absolutely. We're very excited to have at the core of the work that we do here at the university a wide range of individuals on campus, all the way from the president to our colleagues in our 19 schools and colleges who partner to support this program. And they've done so by becoming liaisons to the Blavin Scholars programs, where we've trained those individuals to understand the needs of our scholars so that our scholars can have someone and we can have someone to reach out to for a warm handoff, where we may be connecting that student to access resources or to have one more person to talk to. And another major aspect of our program is our mentoring program. So throughout those 19 schools and colleges, throughout high levels of areas in our campus, including provosts and the head of different departments, those individuals have partnered with us to provide mentoring services for our students and to become a very strong component of our program, in that mentor will follow our students throughout their entire undergraduate experience. So that's another way that students may come to us as well, through interactions with a wide range of individuals on campus and in different departments, where they may find out that this student has an experience that may be, that student may benefit from becoming a Blavin Scholar.
Yeah, again, I just think it's so exceptional that you guys have such a great kind of campus community relationship, and that really those resources and the natural supports that students may bring with them before they come into the program can weave so naturally into their experience with the program. And, you know, I think that brings us really nicely to the program highlights. And so I would love to hear from you some additional highlights that you'd like to share specifically about the Blavin Scholars Program.
Absolutely. So we do offer guidance through the admission process. So as you mentioned, Maddie, there are times when our students are thinking about, where do I want to go to college? And as they're thinking about those opportunities and where their paths may lead them, we may find out about this student through other means, by our outreach and recruitment program, where we're in the community all around the state of Michigan, talking to individuals who support students who've experienced foster care, whether it's campus or high school counselors or Michigan Youth Opportunity Initiatives coordinators, education planners, foster parents, and we're spreading the word that college is possible. So through those interactions, we may meet a student who has some challenges or questions related to, how do you even apply to college? So we can be that person that helps that student work through their admission application and their letters and gather the data and information that they need to actually apply to college. Then transition assistance throughout their entire graduation process, that one-on-one support with the Blavin Scholar Campus coach, that's key to our program. Our individual coaches, including myself, work very closely to build the relationships with the Blavin Scholars, so that, one, that they feel that they have one more person in their corner to provide support, but also to bring this very large campus at the University of Michigan down very small to a person one-on-one that you can meet with monthly to talk through any challenges and any barriers that you're experiencing throughout your undergraduate time at the university, and to talk about those campus experiences. Providing access to campus resources through our liaisons that I mentioned earlier. So we have liaisons in housing, financial aid, the library, counseling and psychological services, student legal services. We have all of those committed individuals who are identified as specific Blavin Scholars. So instead of a student coming on as a freshman onto campus and sort of being overwhelmed completely by the immense amount of resources here, we can talk with that student as their campus coach and connect them personally to the liaison, and not just hand them a phone number and say, please call, but we can go with them through that first experience to help them have that time to get to connect with those liaisons, which will build that skill set to how do you navigate the campus, such as this one, which is so large. We have a major component of our program is community building. So we are a community. We build into our program lots of opportunities for Blavin Scholars to get to know one another. We have our own space here at the University of Michigan, our Blavin Scholars Program office, where students can come, get to know each other, watch television, have a place to sort of just be and find their tribe, so to speak. We additionally have Yeah, so we're excited about that piece of community, having our students have a place to go and to celebrate holidays. So if students celebrate Thanksgiving, we have a gratitude dinner where the students can have, where we have a catered dinner where we all get together. We start the year off with a challenge course, building that team, building that community. And throughout the entire year, we have a lot of different opportunities for our students along with our main donors and our main stakeholders to get together with Paul and Amy Blavin, who are very connected to our program in a very unique and an extremely genuine way. So Paul and Amy Blavin have established this program at the onset and really wanted to partner with the University of Michigan to develop a space where individuals who've experienced foster care, students could come back, could learn skills and have a really focused and holistic way of viewing that student and of supporting that student. So they come to all of our events that they can. They will fly in, they will interact with the students, and they will become very involved in the process along with our other champions. So that Thanksgiving dinner and sporting events, going to the University of Michigan sporting events, that's a huge aspect of being a Wolverine. So allowing opportunities and building opportunities for our students to engage in those events allows them to sort of meld in a way that all of the other Wolverines and students on campus will do.
That's,
Offering.
oh, I was just going to
I'm
say, I
sorry.
think it's,
I get very excited about our program. So
yeah, no, I was just going to say, I think it's really wonderful. And I do want to underscore what you just said about being sure that students not just identify with the Blavin Scholars Program, but identify with being a Wolverine, being a
Yeah.
student at the University of Michigan. And, so thank you for highlighting that, because I think that sometimes, students come in and they are, either on one side, I'm just going to go to this university and that's going to be it. And they maybe don't take advantage as much of what the programs have to offer as far as community building, or the opposite happens. They're really involved in the program, but they don't get to access sort of what's in the larger scope of the institution. And so thank you for highlighting that. And yeah, please share, just, the last couple other highlights that you want to share about the program.
Sure. And then lastly, year-round housing, including during holidays and breaks, where we make sure that our students, even now if they're coming on during summer programming, that we have a place for them to, if they need it, and if they want to stay in the Ann Arbor area. As all of our students' experiences are very different, our students may not have the need to go to a place of support or a home, but they may want to just stay here. And if they want to do that, then we have the opportunity to partner with our housing staff here and our housing liaisons to make sure that that happens. And lastly, 24-hour, 7-day-a-week support we offer to our students throughout the entire year.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. I think it really gives some nice context to the Blavin Scholars Program, and I think hearing how well students are supported, both from within the campus-based support program, but the larger university administration, to having Paul and Amy really in a, like you said, a very genuine way, be a part of their experience, their journey through education. I know for so many students that I've met, that makes a tremendous amount of difference. I would just like to highlight that we do have a Blavin Scholars video here. We have a link, so folks can click on that link and watch the video. We'll also make that available on our website page, and we will make sure that folks can watch that video, and we'll absolutely share that. And I've seen this video. It's a wonderful video. I think it really does kind of highlight the really integral relationship that Paul and Amy have, but also kind of highlight the community of scholars that the Blavin Scholars Program has developed.
I think so. We're very proud of it.
So now I would love to hear just some highlights about the University of Michigan in general. I think a lot of people, they hear about U of M, they probably grow up thinking about, or maybe wanting to be a Wolverine, but you know, not everybody gets a chance to go and check out the campus on their own. And so I'd love to hear some highlights from the inside about U of M.
Absolutely. So the University of Michigan, I'm a two-time alum from the University of Michigan Flint, and here in the Ann Arbor, University of Michigan Ann Arbor. Here, the University of Michigan is a special, unique, and amazing place. Our university has 19 schools and colleges and 260 degree programs. So students have the opportunity to really expand their horizons and their goals and really dig down and think about who do I want to be when I leave this university and what do I want to do, how do I want to contribute to this world. So we're excited to offer this beautiful campus, first of all, in the Ann Arbor area, surrounded by a number of resources in the Washtenaw County area. So the other things that I will share about the University of Michigan itself is that the University of Michigan is devoted to providing students, especially students who are underrepresented, with the opportunity to go to college, and to make sure that throughout their undergraduate experience that student feels like they are connected to this university and that they feel like they have the support that they need. There are countless resources on this campus. Again, our students in particular, and I will highlight our students as I highlight the University of Michigan, our students have been able to leave this university with degrees that'll have taken them to Harvard Medical School, to Columbia University, to teaching overseas, to speaking several languages, including Japanese, Chinese, and Spanish, to traveling abroad. So those opportunities are vast on this campus. You can't talk about the University of Michigan without talking about the University of Michigan's football team, the Big House, and all of those other aspects that really make this university unique. But again, I think that the biggest and most unique thing about this university is that it's all about relationship building. It's all about connecting to one another and connecting to resources on the community campus, being able to, need assistance with writing and being able to go to the Sweetwater Writing Center, or being able to wonder about what it's like to do research and being able to go to our university research opportunity program. So all of those are just some. Again, I could go on and on, but I think from the majority of Michigan freshmen, they end up in our liberal arts college, and through that avenue, they're able to just build on what they want to do in the future and to grow and to develop new and exciting ideas. It's one of the premier universities in the world, but I will preface that by saying as well, it is an accessible university that is possible for students who've experienced foster care and for others who may not have initially thought that it was, because the University of Michigan really looks at the whole student in terms of admission. And I think that levels the playing field and allows access in areas where students may not have considered the University of Michigan as an option.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I think, it's definitely one of the tensions of the University of Michigan being, I think, the largest institution in Michigan as far as number of students on campus, but also that with those numbers comes the ability to serve such a diverse array of students in really unique and kind of innovative ways. And so while students may, look at the University of Michigan, feel like it's intimidating or feel like it's an institution that might be out of reach because, they hear the reputation, they've grown up, seeing all of the really impressive things and research and, just innovations that come out of the University of Michigan, it's really important that like you mentioned, students and supportive adults and professionals understand that there's so much support. You know, if a student is able to get in, that there's so much support to help them succeed, and that support is not just getting the grades, but really transitioning into a successful post-college career. And post-college path. So, you know, I just would really encourage folks to look into the University of Michigan and all of the different resources that are available, and just again understanding that at the heart of that, like Miriam, you said, are the relationships that are built. And I think that really speaks to both the University of Michigan and the Blavin Scholars Program, and kind of how you are all centered on building those relationships so that students feel supported on their journey toward education success.
And I agree with that 100%. And I would be remiss if I didn't do a short plug for students who are transfers. We have several transfer students who come in as Blavin Scholars, and we have the Michigan Pursuing Our Dreams pipeline. So that's designed to help students who have aspirations to go to the University of Michigan, but may not be quite ready academically to make that leap. And so by going to our local community colleges, Washtenaw Community College, or other transfer programs throughout the state, they are able to develop the skill set and the academic acumen needed in order to transfer over to the University of Michigan, and with complete support in doing so.
Awesome. Thank you so much for bringing that up, because I do think that for a lot of students that may, you know, have aspiration to go to the University of Michigan, but you know, may not be ready to take that jump right out of high school, knowing that there is that pipeline, that transfer pipeline is it's a huge asset to them pursuing their education goals and dreams. So this next topic that I want to talk about is tuition fees and cost of attendance. And of course, we have some kind of highlights that we gathered about the cost of attendance for students that attend the University of Michigan. And of course, seeing that big number can be a little bit jarring for folks, but I do think it's important that students hear from you what financial resources are available, and how you help, you being the Blavin Scholars Program and other campus champions, help students navigate those resources, and then what students should plan for as far as out-of-pocket expenses, and how you might help support them in navigating some of those additional expenses.
Absolutely. So when I look at the tuition fees and cost of attendance, and in working with the Blavin Scholars, the first thing that comes to mind for me is that our students mostly come into the university, I'm going to say mostly fully funded. Okay. And that means that those students, because they are coming in as independent students, and because they're coming in, generally speaking, and again I'm generalizing, as students who have financial needs, the University of Michigan is covering some of those, is covering primarily the tuition costs. So those tuition fees are not fees that the student are not going to be premier on top of the student's mind and thinking about what do they need to pay for as they come in. Our work with the student is to work directly with the Office of Financial Aid. It was one of our major partners in identifying students who may be good fits for the Blavin Scholars Program or may want to know more about the Blavin Scholars Program. And by the Office of Financial Aid knowing most about what that student can access in terms of financial aid, we're able to come in right away and identify, yes, these are ways that you have are able to access funding in terms of tuition. Now the Blavin Scholarship can come in and cover other areas. And some of those areas may be anything from having a medical issue that the student has co-pays for, having very concrete needs like housing being a little bit more than what the college has allotted for each student in terms of cost of attendance, and maybe even travel back to where that person's home is. So those are just some of the ways that Blavin Scholars can access additional funding to cover those things that that are not covered under the traditional tuition that's offered for the university. Students should be thinking, however, about work-study, areas such as work-study. So the University of Michigan, and again, may cover the tuition piece for the most part and the Blavin Scholars Program, but may cover additional fees that come up for the student, and we're really talking about emergency fees, additionally housing fees. So if a student is experiencing housing insecurities, we may be able to step in and assist with that. But if the student is going to be on campus for 4 years, they may consider additional funding. They may want to have extra money, and that may come in the way of a work-study position or having a small part-time job if they're able to do so. And they can work with their campus coach to determine, is this an option for that particular student, because as I mentioned, all students' experiences are different. But additionally, books and supplies and miscellaneous items that are beyond what the student has in their financial aid package or the funding that's given to each student as they come on campus, the Blavin Scholarship may be able to step in and cover those additional fees as well. All of those areas are considered, that I'm mentioning, are considered cost of attendance areas, but the emergency need areas are also something that we can help with, and that is one of the major ways that we support our Blavin Scholars as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And, I think really the key for folks in understanding what students, may need to plan for as far as, how much they can expect to need to take in loans or to have, maybe plan for as far as working additional or, utilizing work study. It sounds like your campus coaches and also your financial aid champions are really key in helping students navigate some of those questions.
Absolutely. And I should add that the Blavin Scholars Program is one of the key aspects of our program, is to assist students in leaving the University of Michigan after their 4-year experience here with very little debt, very little loan debt, and very little overall debt. If we can work with that student along the way, the majority of our students will leave with a very low amount of undergraduate loan or overall debt as a result of school.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful, and just really one of the essential pieces that we want for all of our students. So thank you for highlighting that.
Absolutely.
So our last question for you is, what are 3 things that we should know about the University of Michigan Ann Arbor and the Blavin Scholars Program? So this is your opportunity to share your humble brag and get students, prospective students, and supportive adults and professionals excited about the opportunities that are available at U of M and the Blavin Scholars Program.
Fantastic. So one of the first things is that we're here to help from the time a student considers attending college, which may not, again, be necessarily the University of Michigan, but we're here to help before a student steps onto campus as they're starting to think about college and accessing college services. We have your back. We're here to provide a holistic and comprehensive undergraduate experience and to assist you from guidance through the admission process. So not only is college possible for students from foster care, the University of Michigan is possible. Students come to the University of Michigan and to the Blavin Scholars Program through a wide range of traditional and non-traditional avenues, from applying and being accepted to transferring, from applying and being accepted to transferring from a community college or another university. Another thing I would highlight is we are a community. We have a strong, I would not be able to talk about this program without really digging into the work that our students do. Our students are remarkable. They have gone on to do amazing things in the world. They are teaching abroad. As I said, they are going off to medical school. We have students who have children who are thriving in their roles. And we have students who will say and have said to us that this program makes a difference in their lives, and that they initially may not have known that they could even go to the University of Michigan, but having become a Blavin Scholar was a significant aspect of their undergraduate experience. The other thing that I would say about our Blavin Scholars and our Blavin Scholars Program is that the work that we do, the commitment from all of our champions on campus. I think that that is unique. Again, having our mentor program, having someone who is generally in a level that they've worked really hard to get into, whether it's a professor in a particular field that the student is looking for. Matching those students with the right mentor has been key. And we don't make those matches. The student and the mentor make those matches together. And I think that that is unique in that those relationships are paramount to the success of our students. And they continue way beyond the 4 years that the student is there. But having all of those folks commit, in this year alone, we had over 70 mentors to our 37 scholars. So those individuals on campus are stepping up to the plate. They understand the need for our Blavin Scholars, and they are so compelled by our program that they are committed to working and giving up their time. But they're also excited about what they will learn from the Blavin Scholars. So those relationships, partnered with the coaching support and all of the services and liaisons that we bond together as a unit, as a program, has made this program successful and has over a 95% success rate in graduating scholars. So we're very excited and we're very proud of our Blavin Scholars, and we continue to grow. This past year we had 17 new scholars join our program, so we had our highest number yet in 37 scholars with 8 graduates. And our goal in the future is to serve 50 scholars by 2019. So we're coming very close to that goal. But those are some of the things that, again, I could go on and on about the Blavin Scholars Program, but those are some of the things that we're extremely proud of, just the ability to make this college campus shrink down to a community, a group that has your back. If you are considering coming to the University of Michigan, we would love to have you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. And I love, hearing your enthusiasm alone, I'm sure probably is a lot of comfort to prospective students and supportive adults and professionals out there, knowing that the program is being led by somebody who is really sold out to the University of Michigan and the Blavin Scholars Program, knowing that, like you keep saying, you guys have their back. That's, what more could you ask for in a college experience than to have somebody who says, it's not always going to be easy, but I have your back. And I think that that really is something that's demonstrated not only from within the Blavin Scholars Program, but again, like you said, throughout the University of Michigan community, throughout the Ann Arbor community that surrounds the university. And so for everyone that's listening out there, I hope that this has provided some really essential information, some really helpful information for you all as you're considering the Blavin Scholars Program at the University of Michigan. There's always, individual questions and, situations that people would like to talk through. So on the screen, we have Miriam's contact information. Please feel free to reach out to her. You can see her email and phone number there. We definitely always want to encourage folks, before you think a school is out of reach, if it's a school that was on your dream list, always look into it further. You never know what might be possible. And Miriam, I do just want to say thank you so much for joining us on this webinar today, providing really excellent information. It's just been wonderful to have you and hear your enthusiasm and love for the Blavin Scholars Program and the University of Michigan.
Thank you so much, Maddie. It's our pleasure to share this time with you.
Awesome. And for our listeners out there, as always, know that Fostering Success Michigan has a variety of resources on all of our programs. You can find our higher education resource guide on our fosteringsuccessmichigan.com website. You can also find more information about the Blavin Scholars Program and all of the institutions that participate in the FSM higher education on the Fostering Success Michigan website. And of course, we are all very active on social media, so you can find the FSM Higher Education Consortium page, as well as the Blavin Scholars Consortium page on Facebook. And of course, if you'd like to learn more about the University of Michigan or the Blavin Scholars Program, we encourage you to check out their websites. You can see these here. And again, we had the link to the video in one of the previous slides. We'll share that again. We just want to make sure that folks really truly get to know the unique aspects of each of these programs. So thank you again, Miriam, and thank you to everyone who was watching today. We hope that you consider the Blavin Scholars Program at the University of Michigan. Take care.
Thank you.